If epic battles and intricate duels are your cup of tea, then be sure to revisit Netflix's Castlevania series and the best fight scenes it contains. Netflix's Castlevania was a surprise hit for both anime and gaming fans. The animated series told the dramatic tale of Dracula's campaign against all humans and the 3 adventurers dedicated to stopping him. With such high stakes, the series included plenty of epic fight scenes to perfectly capture the tension. Without further ado, let's get into the top 10 Castlevania fights that you don't want to miss. Let's get started with Number 10. Alucard, Greta, and a bunch of refugees had to fight off vampires and night creatures. While unwittingly and unknowingly falling foul to a plot by the scheming Saint Germain, Alucard and Greta are convinced to lead an evacuation of Dynasty, taking all the refugees back to Dracula's castle, all the while being pursued by vampires and night creatures. Everything from Alucard displaying his strength and skills by saving Dynasty, to the frantic retreat back to the castle and the fight holding the castle itself, all make for compelling television as the viewer knows it is all leading to Saint Germain's master plan. The choreography of the fighting itself is on point, as it always is with Alucard and his fighting style. Number 9. The trio reunited and had to fight through the castle halls once again. As the 4th and final season is edging closer towards the end, Alucard finds himself cornered and outnumbered in his castle after an assault by vampires and night creatures. Just as it seems that he is going to be overwhelmed, Sifa and Trevor emerge to see the trio reunite for the first time since Dracula's demise. Though we had been anticipating Trevor, Sifa, and Alucard storming Dracula's castle for many episodes, we were not prepared for the sheer awesomeness that followed when they entered the main hall. The 3 friends had to go up against vampires, primed to fight, monsters made to murder, and with Alucard's floating sword, Trevor's deadly whip, and Sifa's incredible magic. Seeing the 3 of them working together effortlessly once again is a joy to behold, with Sifa and Trevor especially being even more powerful than they were previously. And the trio wipes out all the foes before turning to confront Saint Germain. Number 8. Trevor had to protect his family home against hordes of monsters. When night creatures launch an attack on the Belmont hold, Alucard works on fixing the mirror, while Sifa continues to search for answers regarding Dracula's castle, leaving Trevor to defend his family home, all of their research and history. Armed with his family's weapon, the Morning Star Whip, Trevor is forced to confront the hordes of evil by himself, essentially fighting for his family legacy. Belmont fights and defeats the hordes, allowing the others to secure the means for their next course of action. It is an intense episode and ups the pace perfectly as the trio sets their sights on Dracula. Number 6. Isaac and his forces hunted the mysterious magician. Isaac doesn't completely understand who he is facing when he marches on the city, but he feels it is his duty to put a stop to it all, seeking the people for himself. Seeing night creatures working together alongside a focused character is a refreshing outlook on a battle within the show, and it certainly feels epic because of this. Isaac has to fight through hundreds of mind-controlled people and also being controlled himself to confront and destroy the magician. The intense thrill of the chase to the top is concluded with a brief moment of satisfaction before showing the chilling visual of bodies falling from the sky due to their release from the spell. Number 5. The battle at the Priory was brutal. The culmination of events in Lindenfeld, the final 2 episodes of the 3rd season follow Trevor, Sifa, Saint Germain, and the Judge as they finally confront the monks at the Priory. A brutal battle ensues outside, but they eventually make their way inside to confront Prior Sala and discover the supernatural rift to the corridor, bringing in a horde of night creatures. Sifa and Trevor doing what they do best, fighting against the odds and repelling the forces of evil, feels more significant in this instance, as the stakes are high as they attempt to quell any hopes of a Dracula revival. Number 4. Isaac vs. Carmilla certainly felt like a big deal. When Isaac finally confronts Carmilla for her treachery and betrayal in You Don't Deserve My Blood,
You don't deserve my blood.
it truly feels like a heavyweight bout and a much sought-after conclusion within the series. Carmela's horrifying screams while she holds off night creatures in a sea of blood, all while Isaac calmly approaches his enemy, makes for an intense and captivating spectacle. A tired Carmela fighting for her legacy until the very end against all odds, a lot of night creatures and Isaac make it a fight full of anger and desperation. Number 3. Trevor handles the corrupt priests.
Oh, hell. I'm sorry.
When Trevor catches a group of corrupt priests threatening a speaker, the noble-hearted, albeit grumpy man can't help but stop to help. Since our last view of Trevor's fighting skills saw him get thrown out of a bar, we weren't sure what to expect from this next encounter. Imagine our shock and delight when Trevor nimbly sidesteps the surprisingly aggressive priest with a dagger, using momentum and handy whip skills to throw him aside. And things took a turn for the grisly yet still awesome when Trevor deftly used his whip to flick the priest's eye out of his socket. Number 2. Trevor vs. Death was a perfect showcase of Trevor's character and fighting prowess. After the plot to see Dracula and Lisa Tepes brought back from the dead is thwarted, Saint Germain left impaled and the tower destroyed, it is left to Trevor to confront and fight death itself. The music and Trevor's implied goodbye to Sifa helps makes this battle feel as epic as it deserves to be. Trevor really comes into his own, keeping up with the much more powerful death and ultimately avoiding any fatal blows. With everything blowing up around them and after taking a battering, Trevor manages to deal a deadly blow to death, using a curious ancient dagger, while seemingly meeting his own demise in the process. Before moving on to the best fight of the whole anime, let's see some honorable mentions that were definitely worthy of the list, but missed out. We had to make some hard decisions and rank the fights, though all of them were significant for a reason. Sifa and Trevor Number fighting in the streets of Grezit. Sifa Belnatis is not an all-out brawler like Trevor, but she is still immensely powerful. And while she did not do most one-on-one fights in the first season of Castlevania, her actions during the assault of the demons on Grezit speak for themselves. She uses her skills to stop people from attacking Trevor, protect herself against demons, and even to threaten Alucard. These moments only hinted at the amount of power she would display in the next season. Attack on the way to the Belmont estate. A group of demons attack Trevor, Alucard, and Sifa when they're on their way to the Belmont Manor. The creatures come out of the night to catch the group off guard. But with such fighters such as Alucard, Trevor, and Sifa, it was an easy matter for them to finish the luckless demons off. However, this fight felt a tad short-lived, as it only gave us a taste of what a bigger fight including our three heroes could be like. Still, the fact that only one demon survived showcases the skills our heroes displayed in that brief time. Alucard had to test Trevor to make sure he was up to the task at hand. Alucard's introduction to Castlevania is mysterious in nature, as it isn't immediately clear if he is a friend or foe. Trevor assumes he is just another vampire, so naturally a fight ensues. Alucard's speed, strength, and powers are all on display in this scene, but Trevor proves that he is truly a Belmont and worthy of the family name by keeping up with him. The fight is intense and brutal, despite eventually being revealed as a test. Trevor, Alucard, and Sifa fighting through the castle to get to Dracula was intense. After the continuous buildup of anticipation leading up to the trio arriving at Dracula's castle, their explosive arrival sees them immediately in battle with vampires that were previously fighting amongst themselves. Driven by determination and the desire to get through and face Dracula, Trevor, Alucard, and Sifa obliterate any and all vampires in their way, with incredible choreography and backing music. Number 1. Alucard, Sifa, and Trevor vs. Dracula. The fight to end all fights in the series, the trio's battle with Dracula was nerve-wracking. Despite the odds being 3 against 1, Dracula was a mighty foe. He could just wipe one of the three out with just a wave of his hands. It was only by throwing everything they had against him that Alucard, Sifa, and Trevor eventually won out. Add to that the very emotional nature of Alucard's fight with his own father, and a layer of depth was added to this battle that was missing from the others. No other fight in the series so far can top the intense conflicts between Trevor, Sifa, Alucard, and Dracula. That's it for today. So, what do you think of the fight scenes of Castlevania, and which one of them was the best you think? Do let me know in the comments section, and also don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. There is a lot more exciting content to come. You don't want to miss that.